You guys can hear me loud and clear. I can see you guys can hear me loud and clear. So to my co-hosts, please assist me admit people as I'll be taking guys through the session so that we don't have an overcrowded waiting room. Only those guys with reservation code. So the training that I'll take us through today is the topic is what we call the U factor for success in network marketing. So if you're writing, that is what I want you to write. The U factor for success in network marketing. Of course, there are a lot of things that affect, the results that we get at the end of the day. There are a lot of things that affect, how we perform in this business. From the products that we work with, from the company that we choose, from the leader that we join, from the support system that you get within that organization that you're part of, like in our case, the BSC. So there are a lot of things that affect success in our business, but the biggest one that will really affect whatever goes on in your business is what we call the you. You, the person that you are, the kind of leader that you're going to be, the kind of mindset you're going to have as you grow the business. And usually I meet a lot of people, they complain about a lot of things. They complain about the website, they complain about the economy, they complain about the products delaying, they complain about their uplines not being present, they complain about everything else except themselves. And guys, if you really want to turn around your business, then you don't have to look any further. Look from within, look at yourself. How are you running the business? Are you doing the best that you can? What changes can you make as a person to make sure that, your business is moving in the right direction? So that is the training that I want to take us through today, the U factor for success, so that we know what are some of the things that we need to correct for us to, actually have our business taking a different turn, and of course, doing so well. So the first question that I want us to tackle is what separates the top earners from the average networkers? What do you think separates these two kind of people? And I want you guys to be very active in the chat box. As I ask these questions, I want you to try it on your own. What do you think separates, the top earners, those guys who make a lot of money, from the person who just does a little, 40,000, 80,000? Of course, the top earners, these are guys who would go up to over a million Kenya shillings every single month. Those are the guys I'm talking about. So what separates the top earners from the average networker? I can see someone is saying goals. Another one, consistency. Let's give our opinion pale kwa chat box. All right, someone is saying consistency, commitment, they work like professionals, attitude, effort, massive action, experience, okay, belief, hard work, again, goals, effort. I think we are now repeating, okay. Professionalism, the rank, work ethic, correct. I can see some very good answers here. And if you study any industry, guys, you'll find that there are few people that we call the mega stars. There are these people that do so well. If you check the golf sport, we have someone like Tiger Woods, who is very, very much skilled. This guy, I once watched one of his videos. When he's doing the last, it's called putting, ile ya kusukuma ile small ball to go into the hole, he hits it and starts celebrating even before the ball gets into that hole, because he's very sure that, it is going to happen. The guy has become one of the top golf players in the whole world, and of course, he's been paid in multi-millions for that skill. Then we have someone like Steve Jobs, who has been, very top in the technology world. We have people like Michael Jordan, who was in the basketball. We have someone like Mike Tyson, boxing. We have Lionel Messi, or even Cristiano when it comes to football. So what separates these guys from the rest is just a few things. And if you can just understand these few things, then automatically your business will take a different turn. Now, I don't want us to go into that. That was just an example. But I want us to focus on our own industry here in network marketing. What is it that makes some people, get paid so much money while others are just doing a little? Now, there are two types of activities that we all need to be working on as we build our business. Number one, we all need to be working in our business. We all need to be working in our business. So what do I mean by working in the business? What does it mean to work in your business? So to work in the business simply means, number one, you are doing what we call recruiting. You're sponsoring people into the team. You're having them, make a decision to be part of this kind of opportunity. So they sign up into your team. Number two, you are engaged in what we call selling of the products. Now, these two activities, we usually call them phase one activities. If you can hear me, I want you to type phase one on the chat box, phase one. So as you begin the business, this is where you should always focus most of your time, not face for the face. Somebody has written in there also, okay? I mean phase one, right? Most of you are getting it right, the one that is on the screen. So every other time, you need to remain in the phase one activities all the time. Though the first one are just the basics, they're the ones that will make sure that your business is running smoothly. But if you want to go straight to the top, then you have to go ahead and work on your business this time around. So recruiting, selling, the first one activities we've said, that is working in your business. So the top earners, they go ahead and start working on their business. And when you work on your business, now you are building what we call a team culture, number one. So that is one of the things that will make sure that, you are not just an average person in the business. Building a team culture such that your people know exactly what to expect at what time. They already know the activities that are supposed to take place at what time, when, and where, that is what we call a team culture. Like, it should be predictable. Your team should know what are some of the activities that we are working on. Like here in BSC, we already have a culture. We know every morning we have these activities happening. During the day, there are certain things we expect. Then, of course, in the evening, we also have something to expect. Every single month, we have events, that we promote and all this. So that is our culture. That is the way of doing things within our team. The number two thing that you do when it comes to working on your business is what we call developing leaders. Developing leaders. Now, at one point, I heard from one of my mentors that if you want to succeed in this business, your work is very simple. You are supposed to build leaders, and the leaders will go ahead and build your business. Build leaders, and the leaders will go ahead and build your business. And when I heard that particular tip, I decided to focus most of my time developing new leaders within my team. And every time you want to jump your income, every time you want to move from one level to another, the secret is usually very simple. You need to develop some more new leaders within your organization. You might be having a few guys on your front line. Why not go even deeper? Develop more people down there, right? The number three thing that we need to do while working on our business is cultivating relationships, or what we call bonds. Your team should be like a family to you. And the only way you can do this is by cultivating relationships. You need to have activities that, help you guys to come together, help you guys to know each other better, help you guys to, understand the challenges, the problems that are happening within your businesses. And if you can solve some of them, do so within the early stages before they get out of hand. So cultivate relationships. Then number 4 is solving problems. One of the things the top earners do every other day is solving problems. Distributors will come with all sorts of issues, but as a leader, your work is to solve those problems, and that is why the company pays you. When you see somebody is making more money, it simply means they deal with bigger problems every day. And I've also seen this crop of people that, they fear problems. They see a problem, they run away. They see a small challenge, they give up. If you're that kind of a person, then definitely the big money is not coming. You need to face them head on. You need to find solutions where you cannot, consult, and of course, get help from everywhere. Then leaders also scale expansion. Expansion is one of the key elements that can get you huge money. Expansion is one of the key elements that can get you huge money. So you need to just, take your business to another town, take your business to another country, take your business online. Right now we have teams in almost, let's say 30 countries all over the world. So you don't just have to operate where you are, scale your business. Every time I look at my mentors, when they launch their business, they don't just launch it in one place. They launch it in America. After a short while, you see them in South America. After a short while, you see them in Europe. After a short while, you see them here in Africa. After a short while, they're in Middle East, that is Dubai, expanding, scaling their business. Because once you start a business in a different place, there's a different crop of people, there's a different group, it will grow. So expansion is also one of the key things you need to focus on if you really want to get right to the top. Then next, they always look for growth opportunities. They are always looking for, how can we make our business better? How can we expand our business better? They're always looking for growth opportunities to make the business even bigger. Then lastly, they ensure that the system is running smoothly. And that is what the top earners do. They make sure the system is running smoothly. They have the system at their fingertips. They have the system well understood in their mind, such that if something is going wrong, they know. And they supervise, they make sure that things are moving on well, things are moving on smoothly. And the end goal is actually being realized at the end of the day. So guys, for you to rise to the top, don't just work in the business. Of course, working in the business is very key, and there is no point that you should stop working in the business. But for you to get right to the top, you have to add working on the business to it. Make sure you are creating a culture, developing leaders, cultivating relationships, solving problems, scaling expansion, looking for growth opportunities, and of course, ensuring the system runs smoothly. And last but not least is constantly working on themselves, improving, becoming better every day, making sure that, you are becoming the best in the game every other day. You look at what is happening here and there, and you make sure you are on top of everything that is already happening. So remember that always at the back of your mind. To become a top earner, you have to work on your business. The next, to be a master networker, I want you to focus on the following activities. To be a master networker, you have to focus on the following activities. Number 1 is your speaking ability. Personally, when I joined this industry, I was not used to speaking a lot. I was not used to addressing large audiences, big crowds. And along the way, I came to realize that, most of the top earners, number one, they are very good in their language, communication, and all this, because how you communicate will also affect, the reception of whatever you're talking about. So every other time, those of us who aspire to become very top leaders, you have to improve your speaking ability. And the best way you can do this is to, listen to some guys that you admire, the way they talk, the way they address people, the way they articulate their points, and try to emulate. Again, it has to be done for you to master it. You cannot just learn and go and keep quiet. Try talk to 10 people. Next time, try talk to 40 people. Try address an audience of 100. And as time goes by, your ability to speak is going to improve and improve. And one day you might find yourself, addressing the whole Philippine arena, over 50,000 people in a room. All right. Next, they also focus on motivating and leading. We usually have a team of guys who are motivated today, tomorrow they are not. Today they are telling you, Upline, I'm with you forever. Tomorrow they are coming and they tell you, I want to give up. I want to quit the business. I think this is not my thing. So as a leader, you must also know how to work with such people. You must know how to bring them back into the game. You must know how to, lead them better, show them what they can do to actually overcome some of these challenges that they might be going through. And that is what we call motivating and leading. As a leader, as a master networker, you must be very good at that. Then number three, you must focus on creating leaders by empowering them. You must focus on creating leaders by empowering them. Empowering simply means you give them the power. Okay, you give them the power. Instead of having all the power with you, you need to empower your people, give them a chance, teach them how to do some of these things, and let them do them on your behalf at one point or the other. All right. So empower your people, and that way you can have more leaders, you can have more success stories, and definitely you are going to have more success at the end of the day. Then again, master networkers are very good at storytelling. You must have a lot of stories to share. You must have a lot of, good examples to give to your team. And these examples, you need to be always on the lookout for them from within your team and from outside. One of the things that I've come to realize over the period I've been around is that some of us, we don't really do well because we don't know what is possible. You have never seen what this business can do. And one thing I've really loved about social media is that it has brought the stories to us. It has brought the stories very close to us, and we can easily access a lot of these stories, just by typing a few things by the YouTube, and we get a lot of them. So as a leader, I have a lot of stories to tell. I always love the training of one Coach John, is our international trainer from the Philippines. Inside this training, there are very sweet stories, stories that inspire, stories that motivate. He shows you people who started from the bottom, and today they are doing so well. Like the other day, I think some of you are in the training when he was sharing the screenshot of this lady. She's called Deodora Amil, a lady who started the business when she's already 70 years old. And as we speak, the company has paid her, I think, over 150 million in about 6-7 years. 8 years doing the business. And that is crazy results, At 70 years old, if somebody can make that money, then definitely that is a story that inspires. So have stories to tell, and share them with your team, share them with your downline, share them with your leaders, and let them be inspired as well. Okay. They say stories, facts tell, stories sell. So stories will really help you to push the point even further. Then, of course, master networkers, they also focus on living a life that others want to model. They also focus on living a life that others want to model. Now, every single day as you run your business, remember that, people are always looking at you. Our business is a business of people, so they are going to buy into you first. And the life that you want to live, guys, it should be something that, if your friends look at it, if your downlines look at it, they automatically want to be like you. And if you strive to be that kind of a person, then trust me, you are going to be a master networker one day or the other. It is just a matter of time, but you are going to get there. So make sure that things like, your dressing code is good, things like your work ethic is good, things like your character, your behavior, they are good. People can say that one day I want to be like so and so. One day I want to be like this guy. If you decide to start accumulating some of these results, a car, buy a good car. If you are probably into traveling, take those good vacations. Try to live a life that other people want to model. And when you live that life, don't keep quiet about it. Kuna hii meme pale Instagram inasemanga eti mimi nifanye kazi, nirauke asubuhi niumie na nisiwaambie, So when you do something big, that is why we have the social media. That is the place where people come to see, how are you doing on your status. This thing should be there on your Instagram, on your Facebook. So share with the world, At the moment they find out that they want exactly what you have, these guys are going to follow you. And that is what we call influence. Once you get that influence, you can build a very huge business. So make sure you are living a life that other people want to model. All right. Then master networkers, they also focus on keeping the business simple. They don't complicate it. They make sure that every other time they are trying to make this business very simple for their team by providing tools, by providing systems, by helping these guys to, make their business look much easier. And that is the work of a top leader, to make the business simple for their team. Your team should not struggle so much. If you have to give them the scripts, do so. If you have to provide them with certain tools, do so. If you have to record videos, if you have to record trainings, and just give them. Not everyone is a leader, and some of the guys who are down there, they can still make money just by depending on the top leader that is there. So as a leader, make sure that you are keeping the business simple for your team. You are providing what they need just to help them grow. Then again, they never stop doing what got them there. And what gets you to the top is what? The first one activities, guys. Recruiting and selling. They never stop. They never stop doing what got them there. In as much as it might reduce in number, maybe when you are new, you are sponsoring 8 people in a month, 10 people in a month. It might reduce to 2, 1 sometimes 3, sometimes 4. But they never stop. They keep on sponsoring and sponsoring and sponsoring as time goes by. They also keep on using the products, sometimes selling them, using and selling forever. So make sure you remain in phase 1 activities. Never stop doing what got you there. Sometimes the income might, cheat you a little bit. You think you're already there. But trust me, if you stop pushing, then the car has to stop at one point. So keep on pushing, keep on bringing new leaders, keep on developing new legs so that you grow. Then lastly, master networkers, they think bigger, they walk bigger, they talk bigger, and definitely act bigger. So this simply means they have bigger goals. They put in more hours into the game. They put in more heart. Heart is just, love. They put in more love and energy into the business. And everything they do is big. If it is dreaming, it is big. If it is action, it is big. So if you want to get to the top, if you want to become a master networker, somebody that people are going to be looking up to all over, then your actions must be big. Everything you do, do it in a big way. If you decide to go do a presentation, do it big, guys. If you are doing follow-up, do it massively. If you are recruiting, recruit massively. There should be more energy, there should be more passion, there should be more heart into it, being put into it. Then again, you have to focus on developing rising stars. And all of us want great downlines. I know every networker in their dream has always dreamt of, having one on the left who is maximizing, one on the right who is maximizing. And by the way, the good life that we all look up to, there's only one thing that, all of us need to do. And that is what we call max out. If you can hear me, I want you to go to the chat box and type max out. Max out. All right, so max out. That is the secret, to unlocking everything that you ever dreamt of. And let me see if you guys really understand the system. When somebody maxes out one account in our business, how much do they get paid in a month? If you manage to max out our system, how much will you make in a single month? Just with one account. Achana na zote, just one. Let me see those figures in the chat box. Someone is saying 30K. Okay, so I think there's a right answer here. If you are going to max out in our business, then we are talking about 2.8 million Kenya shillings in a month. Yes, we are talking about 2.8 million Kenya shillings in a month. So I want you to imagine you have one person on your left, you have another one on the right who are already maxing out. Kumanisha wewe uko sure like that account is taken care of almost forever. Now, if you go ahead and max out 2 accounts, we are talking about 5.6 million. If you go ahead and max out 3 accounts, we are now talking about how much? Karibu 9 million, 8 point something million. And that is crazy income. And all you need to actually, unlock this thing that we call max out is what we call developing rising stars. You need to develop these guys within your team. And it is usually very simple. It is not something hard. So as you develop these rising stars, it will also take time. You have to understand that. And some of us, we are usually impatient. Max out, it can't happen within 1 month. It has to take probably a year. For some of us, it might take 2 years, for some 3, for some 4, for some 5. So you need to give yourself time as you develop these people. And then also help those people develop their own rising stars. The moment they become many, we always call it a critical mass. The moment you have many people, who understand the business, they understand what they are doing, then automatically you start maxing out and start enjoying this big money we are talking about. So number 1, to develop the rising stars, decide who deserves the coaching. Not everyone deserves your time, but there's a group of people that you can tell, they really deserve your time. They deserve your coaching. Number 1, these are guys that when you tell them to do something, they do it. You call them to a meeting, they show up. You agree to do something, they do it 100%. They are not guys who give a lot of excuses. So you need to look for such people within your team, guys who are really willing to listen to you, to grow, to do the things that you ask them to do. And once you find these people, help them to master phase one. Phase one, we said, is recruiting and selling. Though selling does not require a lot, you sell as you go. If you want to sell coffee, drink coffee. Someone will ask you, what is that? You tell him this is coffee. And you explain 1, 2, 3 things. Then you give him to taste. After that, you might have made a sale already because the guy has had an experience and that happened. So most of the time should be focused on recruiting. Most of the time should be focused on sponsoring. So help them master phase one. And then once they master phase one, now teach them how to become a leader. And to become a leader, we said you need to focus on a few things. Building the team culture, developing leaders, speaking ability, all those things we mentioned. Teach them how to become a leader. Pole pole, introduce them to some of these concepts over time. And once they are able to lead, once they have attained that leader status, they are now supposed to they are now supposed to identify other rising stars and mentor them in a similar way to also become, leaders within your organization. And as I said, once you have a good number of people, once you have a good number of leaders within your team, and they are guaranteed every single day they must do a certain number. Let's say you have 10 leaders whom you are very sure, every single day they must put 2 codes, or they must sign up 2 new people, and they are on one leg. You're already maximizing that leg automatically because those are 20 codes. All right. If you can do the same on another leg, the same thing. So all we need to do from time to time is develop these rising stars. Decide if they deserve your time. Number 2, help them master the phase 1 activities. Number 3, teach them how to become leaders. Then lastly, teach them how to identify rising stars within their groups and mentor them in a similar way as you did. And if you manage to do that, automatically you are there. Then we have what we call goal setting, is also a very key component for success of any individual. And when I ask the question, what separates, the average networkers from the top earners, somebody actually mentioned this goal setting, and that person was very right. Again, top earners, they are very good with their goal setting. They know exactly what they want. As they run this business, they are not just gambling. I've seen a lot of people that their success, they are banking it on, luck. If I get lucky, maybe I'll buy a good car. It doesn't go that way. First, you must know exactly what you want. Because if you don't know what you want, you're like a ship that has already left the shore, but it doesn't know where it is going. It is just going to move in the ocean, and finally end up nowhere. So as you begin the business, first thing, you must have the end goal in mind. You must know, where am I going? In 1 year, what do I expect? In 6 months, what do I expect? In 3 months, what do I expect? In 1 month, what should I expect? And once you know what you expect, it becomes easier to create a route between here and there. For example, if a ship is to leave Mombasa going to Dubai, first thing that the captain will do is to map out the map or the route, the sea route from Mombasa all the way up to Dubai. And the moment he knows the shortest route, his work is just to navigate using the compass and all those technologies within there to get them to the destination. So that is what the goals do to us. And before you do anything, if you feel probably you don't know what you are doing, you feel demotivated, I always tell people to go back to their goals, because goals can always, bring you back into line. They can always give you a new, how do we call it, a new drive, a new energy to actually do this business better. So people with no goals are going nowhere. They're like a ship without a rudder, whatever I was talking about. So your goals, as we always say, should be smart, you know. Make sure they are meaningful to you. Meaningful means it makes sense, you know. It is something that you can resonate with. Sometimes I see somebody says that, my goal is to probably build an 8-bedroom mansion, but you yourself, you've never seen this mansion, you know. You don't even know how it feels like to be there. You've not seen it with your own eyes before, or even in a video. And so it means you don't even understand what you're talking about. So for it to be meaningful to you, it should be something you really understand, you know, something that resonates with you. When you think about it, you feel like, really, this thing can drive me. You know, if it is a certain car, make sure it is something you really understand. Because trust me, the reason why some of our goals don't work is because they are just names, you know, you just mention them, but they don't have any meaning to you. Number two, you need to be very specific. All right. If you want a house, what kind of a house? Is it a mansionette? Is it a bungalow? You know, is it a penthouse? Is it a duplex? What kind of house do you want? So be very specific, be very specific in the details, you know, exactly how you want it to look like. Then make sure that your goals are always written down, because writing them is at the starting point of everything. If you read the book of Habakkuk 2:2, it says, write your visions on paper. So your goals should be written on a piece of paper. The moment you empty them on a piece of paper, it is the beginning of the magic happening. So have your goals written down, and not just written, have pictures, you know, have videos, look at them every other day. And as you look at them, you know, it will give you that sense of familiarity. It will tell your subconscious mind that this is what we are working on. So it will always try to find ways of making the goal possible, you know, and making it work within the shortest time. Then for your goals to be powerful, make sure you share your goals. There are people that if you ask them what are your goals, they are very shy, you know. They cannot tell you this is what I'm working on. Because number one, they don't believe it is going to happen. Number two, they don't believe they can do it themselves. So for you to move a step further, you know, share your goals. I want you to be brave enough. Come out and tell guys, in the next 3 months, I'm buying my first car. You might not even know how yet, but the moment you tell us and you know that we are waiting to see, you know, the pressure is already piling on you. You're already doing things in a better way. At the moment you share it with another person, you now start being accountable to them, you know. You know very well people are waiting to see. For example, when we usually have our mastermind meeting, sometimes we take time to share our goals, you know. We take time to share whatever we are working on. And the moment you tell people that this is what I'm doing, you know, every time they remind you, you remember you said this, and you tell them, yes, I remember. So there's no way you can sleep. There is no way. I always share the way I bought my second car, the BMW. It was during a 90 days game plan. And we were in an office called Kitamu, pale upper town near Kimathi Street, you know. So I declared to the leaders there that it was during the Corona period, that we were in the month of September. So I tell them by December, before we do our event, for me, I will have bought my second car already in the business. So every day, you know, as we take breakfast, as we take lunch, we are always asking, how far are you? You said you wanted this kind of car. How far are you? So that pressure always kept me going. And guys, to cut the long story short, I actually bought it within the timeline, because everyone knew that this is what I was working on. So it was upon me to choose whether I was going to be a failure or I was going to fulfill the promise that I made to myself. Then, of course, give yourself timelines, goals, and dreams. What creates the difference is the time frame. You know, you'll say, I want a Range Rover. But the moment you say, I want a Range Rover in the next 6 months, it now becomes a goal, you know. We now know by this time you have already set a deadline for the goal that you want to achieve. So make sure you give each goal a timeline. Yes, you'll have a long list, lakini ingine itaachiviwa February, another one in March, another one in April, another one by August, another one by December. So give them timelines, you know. This is the time period that I want to give myself before I get there. So get so good at goal setting, because goal setting, you know, is the beginning of great things in our business, in our lives. All right. Then lastly, there must be a reward upon completion. If you achieve that goal, you know, what are you going to do for yourself? And the reward should be able to, you know, motivate you. For example, Mimi, when I'm buying a car, you know, the reward that I always look at mostly is the feeling, you know, the feeling that that particular car is going to give. Let's say you want to become a millionaire circle member. You need to set a certain thing that if I become a millionaire circle member, then I'm going for a holiday in Zanzibar. So that is the reward. So for the holiday to come, and the holiday should be meaningful to you. It should be something that, you know, pushes you so much. So the moment you become an MC, automatically you book the holiday. You might even have the money for the holiday, but you promise yourself, I'm not going until, you know, I hit this particular rank that I want. So make sure you have a reward upon completion for every goal that you set. Some of them will just be, you know, going somewhere and treating yourself, you know, booking into a big hotel in town like Kempinski, like is it Hemingway's? I'm a Hemingsway. One of them, you book into such a hotel, you know, just spend a night. You go somewhere, treat yourself, you know, take a small vacation to some of these places here. So there should always be a reward attached to the goal. There should always be a reward attached to the goal for it to be powerful. The next, treat your business like a business. Yes, treat your business like one. All right, treat your business like a business. So how do you treat your business like a business? Number one, you need to attend events consistently. You need to attend events consistently. By the way, events is one of the things that, you know, if you want to grow a big team, you need to focus on this so much. And I remember last year when I was spending some time with my mentor, Mike Ademi, in his hotel room here at Kempinski. So he was here for like a week. So every evening after we are done with activities, we go there and, you know, sit with him for like 3-4 hours. And every other day, you know, he had some few tips for us. And one of the tips that he gave us is that if your business is not doing so well, you know, if you are having a challenge in improving the numbers, if you're having a problem in growing your team is always, you know, 10 people every day, 10, every new month, 10, you know, it is not going up, then one of the things that you really need badly is events. Because events can help you to double the number. Events can help you to triple the number. Events can help you to even 10x the number, because during event, you know, you have something to sell. You have something to sell to your team. You have something to sell to your prospects, who you see as, you know, people who can become great leaders in your team one day. So anytime you hear there is an event, I want you to always think, how can I use this event to double the number of people that I have? You know, how can I use this event to triple the number of people that I have? So invite the follow-ups, you know, invite all your downlines, even the leaders who are giving up, you need to bring them to the event. And during the event, that is where the magic happens. Somebody just says a word, a testimony, and the life of somebody changes completely. So I know this month we have an event coming. Maybe I'll talk about it at the end of the training. Let's make sure we are in that event. Let's make sure we are represented. Even your follow-ups, those who have booked accounts, bring them to the event. Bring them to the event. That person who attends his first event when he's still very new is very lucky, just like myself. I consider myself one networker who was very lucky at the beginning, because Mimi, I joined after 2 weeks. There was an event for the company. And this event was attended by, the guest speakers were that was John Asperin and Francis Miguel, Engineer Francis Miguel. They attended here in Nairobi together with the vice presidents of the company. So I got a chance to see them in person, I remember during that event, they even gave their own testimony. You can imagine the board of directors now showing you how they joined, what happened slowly by slowly until right now, what is happening in their lives. So they shared all these, and I came out of the event a totally different person. So guys, number one, make sure in every event you're there and you bring your team in a massive way. Number two, be regular on conference calls. Conference calls ni kama easy. Zoom, Google Meet, sometimes WhatsApp video calls you can do with your team. Any call that is online, make sure you are there. That is designed for your team. Then make sure you track your activities, results, and progress. Track your activities, results, and progress. They say if you can track whatever is happening, you can have a room for growth. If you know what happened last week, this week you can increase the numbers. And in this business, we have a lot of people who don't even know how many guys they talked to yesterday. There are a lot of people who don't know how many signups they did last month. There are a lot of people who don't even know how much money they made. You can imagine. You don't even know how much you made, so you don't even know if you are saving, if you are not. You don't know if you are wasting your money somewhere or not. You need to track some of these things because that is what a business is all about. You can't open a supermarket and you don't know, who has paid what, how much money has been made today, where has it gone, did the accountant carry it home? So you need to track your results, track the activities, track the progress. If you promised yourself to be somewhere in 3 months and nothing is happening, you should already be alarmed, You should come out and ask yourself, what is not happening? Why am I not getting where I want to be? And we have a lot of people who are not willing to talk. You'll see your business is going south. You know very well my uplines are here, they can help. And you are very much quiet. You are very much okay. You are treating your business like a joke, You are treating your business like a joke. So make sure you track these activities, track the results, track the progress. And the only reason why you are tracking them is to improve. The only reason why you are tracking them is to find expert opinion or advice from your leaders on what can you do to improve. You've done the business for 2-3 years, this is not happening. Why not tabulate the data, of what is happening in your business? Come to your leader, sit down and discuss, how can I get to the next level? How can I improve? So treat your business like one, okay? Next, you need to invest more and more into your business. You need to put in more money into your business. And one thing that myself and the top leaders have really done so well is investing into our businesses. Investing into our businesses. Personally, I remember my first 6 months, I think almost all the money I was making, it went back into the accounts. By my year one, I already had 14 accounts when it was not even allowed. I already had more than what the company was allowing, We used to put in a lot of money into expansion. That is why in a very short period of time, we already had a team in South Sudan, I had a team in Dar es Salaam. We had a team in DRC. We had a team in Zambia, because we were investing more into the business. All right. That is why we opened so many offices here in town, just because we were investing more into our business. So find out in which areas does the business require your money. Sometimes it is just the bundles for attending these meetings. Sometimes you'll need money to promote events. Sometimes you'll need money to, print out some of the posters, flyers, all these tools that we need to grow. So don't feel the pain. As a businessman, this is how you should reason. I'm using 10,000 to run an advert on Facebook, but this 10,000 is going to get me 3,000 prospects. 3,000 people who ask, I'm interested in that business. Can you show me how it works? So if you train 3,000 people, out of the 3,000, how many can you convert? Let's say you convert 30, just 30. That is like 30 is 1%, if I'm not wrong, 1% of that number. So you are very poor in what you are doing. You don't have the skills. So you only convert 1%. Out of 30, if you have a strong leg, that means you've made, over 130 times 4,800. How much is that? Roughly, let me do my math quickly. Roughly 150,000 on the lower end. So have you made a loss or a profit? That is a very big profit. You use 10,000 to promote the advert, but now you have 150,000 back. You want to open an office. You're going to use, let's say, 400,000. Then you run this office over the next, maybe 3 years. And over the next 3 years, this office makes you, like, let's say, 20 million Kenya shillings. Have you made a loss or a profit? A very huge profit. So as a businessman, don't look at the money like, I've put 200,000 into this thing. Look at what is coming out at the end of the day. That is how guys take even 20 million. They come to town, they open a restaurant because they know the restaurant is going to make them 40 million back. So how much profit have they made? Another 20 million. So every time you are opening more accounts, every time you are taking that 469,000 to add another megaverse, don't feel the pinch. You are a businessman and you should have targets. Where am I going? What kind of profits am I going to make? Then you need to learn from defeat. Don't give up. Don't give up. The person who opens a huge restaurant in town, they won't give up because customers have not come today. Tomorrow they'll still open. The other day they'll still open because they know how much they've invested. But if the customers are not coming properly, they learn from it. They make a few changes. Maybe let's start advertising. Let's put a banner pale nje yenye inaonyesha hii ni restaurant and all these things. So always learn from your defeats and don't give up on yourself or your business. Then treat your customers with love and respect. When I talk about customers, these are also your downlines. Treat them with love and respect. Very important. Then always protect your house, protect your business. Protect your business from intruders, from all these guys who want to destroy it, from the negativity outside there. Protect your house. Protect your house. Then next, you need to keep each distributor plugged in, productive and positive. Keep every one of your downline plugged in, productive and positive. Check. This guy has done 1, 2, 3. Are they getting the results that are desired? If no, what can we change? What can we change? Okay. Then lastly, make sure you pay your taxes because this is also a business. Though the company takes care of it, your work is just to file returns and play with the figures and, make it look like that is, whatever they've already submitted is the rightful tax you're supposed to pay. So that one is the work of your accountant, not yours. Then again, one of the things you need to work on is designing your ultimate day. So every single day, focus on what we call the IPA. What is IPA? Income producing activities. So what are the income producing activities? Number one, contacting of your own new prospects. Contacting of your own new prospects. Number two, I think this is self-explanatory, following up on your own existing prospects on the list, following up. Number three is doing three-way calls and closes for your team. Then lastly is calling your team to promote something. And I think these are the main activities that are in the daily method of operation. So follow that DMO, but above all, make sure that every single day, you've done all this. You've done all this: contacting, following up, doing three-way calls and closing. Then lastly, calling your team to promote something. All right. Presentation comes in on the third area, doing three-way calls. And guys, make sure you're working hard at your business. Make sure you're working hard at your business, because one of the things that I've noted is that for you to make it in anything, you cannot be lazy. You cannot. Look at the guys who are making it. These guys are seriously hardworking, from football to athletics. These marathon runners, is it called Kipchoge? I think Kipchoge Eliud. These guys are working so hard. Come back to politics. Baba at 79, I think he should be 79 this year. At 79, he's still running around, He's still climbing on top of V8s, just campaigning and doing the politics that is being paid for, Look at some of the cabinet secretaries. Look at the president. I'm told the president is woken up every day at 3 a.m. The first briefing, 3 a.m. Huo jamaa ashaamshwa ako kazi. So they say the sleep of a laboring man is sweet. And those of us who are lazy, utafika hata kitanda na usingizi haiko, because you are not doing the work that is required. So let's put in the hard work. Of course, there are those of us who will say, you need to work smart, you need to be ukwe mjanja kidogo hapa na pale. But before you do all these things, before luck kicks in, the first thing you have to do is to work hard at what you are doing. Before you can now start working smart, first of all, you have to work hard. Before Messi can now start missing trainings, he first had to attend, all the trainings. He first had to prove himself that he's so good that he doesn't need to show up for the training every single day now. All right. So let's really put in the work. Let's put in the activities into the business. Then you need to have the principle of acting as if, or what we call the be, then have. So my question to you in this room today is, what do you desire to be? Or what would you like to be? If you look at yourself, let's say 2 years from now, let me take it a little bit far. 2 years from now, what would you like to be? Ungependa ukue nani? Not in terms of a person, but maybe in terms of, rank, in terms of all these things. What would you like to be? What do you really desire to be? Okay, somebody is saying a millionaire. Is that all? Top earner in my village. Okay. What if your village people don't have money? I hope you come from Muranga, where they are billionaires. Okay, someone is saying a multi-millionaire, a millionaire and a car achiever, billionaire and top 10 Kenya, global ambassador and Hall of Fame, gold executive, millionaire. All right, now whatever you'd like to be, whatever you'd like to be, whatever you are writing there, whatever you are typing, the secret is always very simple. If you want to be a millionaire, then first of all, you have to be a millionaire in the mind. If you want to be a top earner, first of all, you have to be a top earner in the mind. If you want to be a respected leader, you go to Nigeria, they respect you. You go to Rwanda, they respect you. You go to Zambia, they respect you. You first have to be that person in your mind, first of all. And the moment you are that person in your mind, what will happen? You start acting like them. You start acting like them. So you try to behave exactly like these people. And I remember this thing really helped me so much. I'm that person who I used to go online, I dig deep. So I go to, let's say, Elias Muhozi, who is still one of my mentors as we speak. So I go on his timeline and I check, how was this guy when he was 1 year like me? So I look at his Facebook, I look at his dress code, man, the guy, as early as 2015, I think he already had an office. He was already having those nice suits. So he was already looking like someone who is making money. So I tell myself, if this is how Elias was, then exactly how he was is how I need to be, right now. So the moment I started behaving like the person I wanted to be, the results started coming to me automatically. And I know even here today, you guys have very good examples of these things that you've mentioned. Millionaires are here in the team. Those who have invested in real estate, gold executives are here, global ambassadors are here. So you just need to know, how do these guys operate? What is their attitude? How do they carry out themselves? And start acting exactly like them. If it is their dressing, don't wait for the money so that you can dress. Start. If it is the mindset, don't wait for the money before you can have their mindset. Have the mindset now. If it is the work ethic, don't say that if I was Moses, I would be very diligent. The business was paying me over 1 million every month. I would be so diligent. You would not miss me in any training. In fact, I would be the host. I would be this. No. Even now, when you still don't have that kind of money, start doing what these guys are doing. Start behaving like them, and automatically everything is going to align. The universe is going to bring that kind of success that you want to you. So act as if you're already a top earner. A top recruiter in the business. Act as if you're already a respected leader. Respected leaders, there are things they cannot do. They cannot do. They cannot poach someone, They cannot disappear with someone's money. They cannot hate on other people, bad mouthing. You find someone is talking bad about other people in the team. They cannot. Respected leader, they cannot. Every time they think about something bad, they first think about their reputation first. All right. Also act as if you have a huge team that you are leading. If you have a huge team, you'll be more responsible, You'll make sure you are on toes. You'll make sure you are the right example. So act as if you're already there, and automatically these kind of things are going to follow you automatically. Then act as if you're already creating a lot of wealth. Act as if you have helped many people to succeed. Treat yourself as if already you have a lot of testimonies within your organization. Even as you speak, it should come out from your voice. Act as if you're already there. Have confidence, walk with your shoulder broad and your chest puffed out. Be proud of who you are becoming. See yourself as a top builder and coach, and the affirmations will start to take root. I always see some of these rising stars in the team. I always see some of these rising stars in the team. Like unapata pale unaenda kwa recruitment, not recruitment, but get 5 promo, get 3 promo. Somebody who is growing very fast, and you meet them in town, you meet them physically, and you can tell, this guy is headed the right direction. First of all, they are very sharp. They are dressed as if they're already making a lot of money. The way they shake your hand, the way they greet you, you can feel it. It is a firm handshake. The handshake of a businessman who is doing well. Ana wasiwasi hata kidogo. The way they talk, the way they address you is already addressing you like, is somebody who is becoming big in the industry. So act as if you're already there, guys. But as you do all this, make sure you stay humble. Make sure you stay humble, because I've seen also ego is one of the greatest inhibitors of success in our team today. What we call ego. Please type the word ego. Ego. Some of us are not willing to humble themselves. Kidogo too. And one thing that I've studied is that those guys at the top, they are not arrogant. They don't allow their ego to serve them negatively. These guys are always very humble. They are guys who listen. They are guys who, if they want something, they'll humble down. They'll come and talk to you. They'll come and talk to you, even if you are still down in the food chain. They'll come and talk to you. If you have something they need, they'll lower that ego. They'll sit down with their pen. They'll write notes as you are talking. So even as you behave like, those good things that you want, I want your ego to stay down. Yes, your ego should stay down. Be humble. If you need to talk to someone, if you need to consult, it should not be a problem. The way you treat others, treat them the way you'd want to be treated yourself. And that is what we are talking about here. Don't let the success get into your head. The success, it is just a byproduct, a result. It does not mean that probably you are so good or you are so much better than the rest. It is just a privilege that, God has given you. So stay humble. And one of the things that I want us to always remember, even as we become big in our businesses, we always need to remember that everything that we have, it comes from God, It comes from above. It is not ours. It comes from above. It is the blessings from above. So if you're supposed to take credit, don't take it yourself. Give it to others. Give it to your team members. Give your credit to God. Give it back to your leaders. It will help you to stay humble. It will help you to not look at yourself and think, now you are a small God. And now that you became a Millionaires Club member, the ego went too high. Now that you started making, let's say, 200,000 above, you don't want to listen to anyone else. It will make sure that you stay there or even go down. So always stay humble, so that you can increase, you can go up. You can go up the ladder and even become bigger. The next point about you, don't drag your past forward. Usually, whatever has happened in the past, it affects us a lot even today. It affects us a lot even today. Maybe you joined the business, you took long to make money. So everyone you bring, you tell them the same thing, that you are going to take 3 months, like me, before you get your person. Don't quit. No. Everyone has their own path. Everyone has their own projection. So don't let your past, determine what is going to happen today. So it is imperative that you wipe your mindset clean of the past misses and focus on the short you are in the midst of taking. Focus on now. Every day is a new day. Every game is a new game. And every recruit is also a new recruit. Don't treat, whatever is happening today from the examples of yesterday. Yeah, don't treat whatever is going to happen today from the examples of yesterday. Maybe last month you never did a lot, but this month you can change it. Usually when we used to do rankings in our offices, there were these people, that you'll always find them in the recognition. Last month he made even 0, and this month he jumps from 0 to 70,000. Okay, because it is possible, you know. This month is not the same as last month. You can also jump from 70 to 140K if you want. The only problem is that when some of us do well, you know, I don't know what happens. You start feeling too much important, you stop doing some things, and you go back where you were before. So treat every new day, every new week, every new month as a fresh, you know, period, and go and do something big within that period, okay? Then project strong belief in your people. Don't kill them by pouring your past failure experiences onto them. They might not be like you. That is what I was saying. As an upline, what you believe, do, and teach perpetuates. So make sure that you project, you know, the positive mindset, the right beliefs into the team, so that, you know, it can grow. Then to help you with this, constantly read books and listen to audios on belief, attitude, leadership, motivation, to help you develop a strong belief. Then, of course, never let your people feel orphaned and quit. Always talk to them, you know, encourage them, because we say massive communication equals massive income. So I'm going to give you an assignment today. Listen to these videos on YouTube. The first one, write it down, Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. In fact, every week, make sure you listen to this video until you capture those points on your fingertips. Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. Then I also want you to listen to Making the Shift by Darren Hardy. Making the Shift by Darren Hardy, shifting your mindset, you know, from the 9 to 5, from the normal jobs that we have been trained to do, to network marketing, making the shift. Very important. So those 2 audios, I want us to go through them. Then when you have new members in your team, make sure you get them started right. I just want you to take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot of that. Yes, on day 1, register them, then do welcome calls with your teammates, like introduce your new people to the teammates. Isikuwe ni wewe tu anajua. They should know a lot of guys, because what happens, sometimes you are not available online, sometimes you are not even in the office. So they need to have, you know, a family that is with them. Then do for them a game plan interview. That is, know the why they are doing the business. Help them create the list, you know, the list of referrals that you'll contact together with them. Then get them to watch the Getting Started videos, or what we call the IPO QSG. Then schedule for office trainings, you know, give them the timetable of how we are running, whether it is office or online. You know, they need to know at this time we have early bird. At this time we'll have our members, our guest training or the OPP. At this time we have our cell meeting. At this time we have this. So give them a schedule. That is on day 1. Mtu amejoin leo, tomorrow they should already be in the system. They should not be hanging. They should flow. Then day 2, you can now start, you know, the activities with them, inviting for home launch, office launch, or the BOMs, you know, having conference calls with their guests that can't be available in the place where you are. Share the product, business success stories, you know. Keep checking on them, keep getting them excited, keep moving them in the process. Start doing the trainings, you know, the launches for them. Then inspect and check their progress. That is day 4, you know, teach them, follow up, share success stories. Very important. As early as week 1, you need to start exposing them to the videos of what is possible in the industry. Then map out what it takes to get to the next level of the compensation plan, you know. Then, of course, you need to keep them distracted, keep your members distracted from their own distractions. How? Number 1, keep sharing success stories. Keep sharing a lot of success stories. Someone has made money, share it in your group. You know, somebody has gone up through the rank, share it in your group. Somebody has made a huge sale, share it in the group. These stories is what inspire people, to grow. I remember when I quit temporarily in 2017, it was the stories in the group that, kept me going. And I used to ask myself, kama watu wanaifanya, why not me? I should go back and also explore this business. So it made me to come back because of the stories that were being shared there. Then, of course, promote the next conference call like this one, promote the next training sessions, promote the next event. That is how you keep members in the game. Events, trainings, conference calls, and of course, stories that inspire. So make sure from time to time, every now and again in your WhatsApp groups, all these things are happening. All these things are happening. If you can constantly do this, trust me, somebody will forget about the wedding that is coming, They'll be game on. They'll be inviting, they'll be prospecting, because during these events, during these trainings, these are the things that we talk about. Someone will forget that maybe they were sick. Someone will forget that, their family is so hard on them. They're meeting a lot of discouragement and all this once they are plugged into all these activities. So make sure your people are distracted. Make sure your people are distracted. Then stop selling, start solving. Those who solve the biggest problems cash the biggest paychecks. As I said earlier about the working on the business, there was a part where we were solving problems. All right. So focus more on the real problem your product, service, opportunity will solve for your prospects. Then make sure you listen more than you talk. That is why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So hear the problems that your prospects have and let them sell themselves into your product and opportunity. And let them buy. People hate being sold to, but they like buying. So if you're going to listen better, you'll get to hear their buying points. And when you focus on them, you'll have a sale, okay? Then follow up with all your customers to make sure they're happy. If somebody joined your team, check on them. If somebody bought your product, check on them. This makes them feel you care and develop trust in you. Then they could refer people to you. All right. Then there are challenges that will meet you along the way. So you need to overcome them, of course. So our business is not, a straight line or a graph that goes up always. There'll be challenges, there'll be shortcomings, There'll be all these things that bombard you along the way. So the first thing that always happens is prospects standing you up, or they don't show up. You agree with someone, we have a Zoom meeting at 9. Here is the link, you do everything right. Ikifika 9, unaangalia pale participant list, you don't see Jack. Let's say the prospect is called Jack. There is no Jack there. You text Jack after the meeting, Jack does not respond. So these ones always happen. Okay, somebody is saying I'm too fast. Please take screenshots because I'm trying to conclude. The company changes. We have product delays. Maybe the products are taking too long on the ocean. They're usually heavy. Lazima zipitie kwa meli. So sometimes they delay. Sometimes people quit on you. Your downlines, your trusted leaders. All these challenges are bound to happen. And when they happen, it is the mindset, that will keep you in the game. So we don't choose our challenges, but we can choose how we respond to them. Don't let small challenges make you quit. Don't let small challenges make you quit. They're part of the game. If you can solve them along the way, then of course you'll get paid a lot of money. Then we always say, don't wish for things to be easier, only wish you were better. Wish you are better. The challenges will always be there, but if you're a better person, you're a better leader, you have a better mindset, the challenges are nothing. So life is always a fight or a flight. Will you give up or will you fight on? Keep on fighting, be a warrior. Don't be what we call a wimp. You see a small problem, you are scared and you run away. So the only way to fail is to quit in our business. So if you're not going to quit, automatically you'll get to the top. But even if things are going on so well, your mind will always play tricks on you. Sometimes you are even making good money, but something is telling you, maybe this is not the best. Maybe you see your friend in another company posting good pictures, they just bought a car, their leader just bought a car. They are traveling to where? Malaysia, Hong Kong, Singapore, your mind will always play tricks on you. There'll be ups and downs, hills and valleys. And I want you to remember, when you are on your downtime, when your mind is playing those tricks, don't keep quiet. Don't stay away from the office. Don't hibernate. Don't go and hide yourself. I want to talk to people. It is like when somebody is getting depressed, the solution is not to hide yourself in your house. The solution is to come out and share with someone. So it is the same with our business. Whenever you feel your mind is, starting to play those tricks, nakwambia wewe hautafika popote. Hii kitu iko na wenyewe. You cannot be like so and so. Go and talk to these people. Go and share with them. Sir, this is what I'm going through right now. What can you advise me? When you talk to someone, you'll find, sometimes your challenge, your problem was just a small thing. So remind yourself of all the success stories of other networkers who have gone through the same things and emerged winners in the business. Soldiers quit when they get injured, but warriors quit when they have won. So keep on pushing until it is your time to win. All right. The challenges we pass through prepare us to lead our teams better when they experience the same in future. So the problems, the challenges, the downtimes you are going through, they're just a preparation for you to become a better leader. They are preparation for you to become a better leader. Even us, we have gone through very serious challenges. I think we have gone through some of the toughest of them. And that is the reason why we are very strong, as leaders who are guiding you, leading you. We are very strong because the challenges that have met us have also been strong. Right from 2017, there is no year that I can say there was no major challenge. We have had our fresh, share of challenges every year. But every year we know we are bigger than our problems. We are bigger than our challenges. And we have come out, victorious. And that is why we are still standing up to today. Every industry has challenges. Don't quit yours. Don't quit yours. The grass is greener only where it is watered. That is what I was saying. You might go on social media, you say, hey, na hii music bana inakaa tamu. I want to become a musician. Go and try. It will take you 15 years before you hit even one song. You'll say it seems football is really paying well. Enda ucheze, Hata hii Kenya Premier League, you might not make it there. Someone will say, oh, I see politics is the way. These guys are really cashing in. Go try, become an MCA. Watakukula kila kitu. You'll sell everything that you have at home, all your cows. Then you realize that, wow, kumbe it was not even something. You might even become an MCA, get some of these things for real. But you get there and you realize, kumbe ile network marketing was the best. Now, at that point, people will be buying big cars, the Range Rovers, the Nissan Patrols. You see some people are relocating to Dubai, America. So the grass is only greener where it is watered. So if you're already here, you are in the business, you are in the game, water your grass. Water your grass. Trust me, outside there are people who look at us and they say, wow, I'd love to do this business. It seems this is the best company that we have. It is because we have watered our own grasses. That is why it is so green that other guys would admire. So wherever you are, whatever position you are in, water your grass. Make it look, that lucrative for you. And our business pays, guys. Our business pays. Ndio mtu atengeneze 200,000 pale nje. Unafaa kuwa umesoma sana. Number two, if you are working at something or a business, you need to be someone who is really, working so hard. But in our business, it is leverage, it can easily grow to that point. Then use stories to deliver your points, because stories entertain, they teach lessons, they stir emotions, they deliver the message better. So keep telling stories. As I say, stories will sell faster than the facts can tell, So people getting qualified, those are the stories we want to hear. People getting ranks, those are the stories we want to hear. People cashing in big checks, somebody withdrew 300K, 350,000. Somebody bought a car. Someone has quit their jobs. These are the stories we want to hear in those WhatsApp groups. A guy is going on trips, changing their lifestyles, and so on and so forth. So when you feel you are stuck, number one, fix your mindset. You are not stuck. You are just in the process. Fix your mindset. And when you feel things are not working, fix the mindset. Fix the mindset. There's something that God is preparing you for. That is why you have to go through that particular stage of your business. Then bring your goals and actions into alignment. I said earlier, if you feel stuck, you need to go back to your drawing board and set your goals again. Set your goals again. If the ship is lost in the ocean, the captain will stop cruising and, find his route first. Find your route. I was going to that place. I'm going to 3 million this year. Where did I lose my track? So bring your goals and actions back into alignment. All right. Do important activities early in the morning. This makes you feel proud and sparks are all in action throughout the day. Then plan your day and night before so that you can attack your days properly. Then make use of the powerful human driver, ego. Now, ego can be bad. It can also be good. The good ego is now this. This is the good ego. The ego that makes you, want success. The ego that makes you to want to succeed. For example, we all know that if you are going to become top 20 in the company, in BSc, you are going to have a lot of respect from your teammates, from the entire membership of the company and all this. If you can just use that to drive you, then you are going to grow so much. And the other day we were asking, I don't know where it was, we were asking people what was their biggest drive in the business. And I remember Koitamet was sharing that kitu anataka, he just wants that one day when they talk about network marketing, they mention their name. That somebody existed and his name was Joseph Silole. So that is what we call respect. He wants that kind of respect, respect that might outlast his time here on earth. Some of us, we want love. All right. We want to be loved by others. And trust me, when you are doing well, it seems everyone loves you. It seems everyone respects you. So your ego can get you all these things, and you need to fight so hard, because if you need the love and respect from others, from the teammates, from the membership of the entire company, then that can be a very good drive. It can be a very powerful human drive that will get you there to the top. And when I watch the movies, I watch these movies of, I don't know if you watch them, the Greek, the Roman Empire, these guys who are conquering the world those days. The Last Kingdom, there's this movie called The Last Kingdom. I don't know which one. There are so many. You'll find those kings or those emperors, they always used to conquer, not because they needed more money, they needed more gold, more silver. No, they were just conquering so that they can get, the love and respect. They wanted to soothe their ego. And there's one that I watched where there was an ocean. They didn't know what was beyond the ocean, the other side. But the emperor insisted that we are going to cross that ocean. Let us go and confirm that there is no land there. If we find land, we are going to conquer it as well. So they get there, they kill, the leaders, then they take over. This is now our kingdom. This is now our empire. So again, if you use that ego in our business, you can really conquer a lot. Yes, you're already driving a Mercedes Benz, you're already driving that BMW, you're already driving that Volkswagen. But what if you can use your ego to even go a notch higher? That can be a powerful drive. You're already in the top 20 of BSc. What if you can use your ego to push yourself to top 20? Of course, top 20 Kenya is more respected than top 20 BSc. So let us use our ego as a powerful human drive. Then if others succeed, let us be happy for them. I've also seen a lot of people that they are so sad, when your friends make it and you don't, you are sad. You are not happy for them. You start distancing yourself. You start feeling bad. If you're that kind of person, trust me, your success is not near. If you cannot celebrate and be encouraged by success of others, how can you expect that your success will be acceptable and motivational to your team in future? There is no way. Even your team will just treat you the same way. So I want us to clap, When other people are doing well, clap for them. Be happy for them. Sit down with them. Ask them, bro, how did you do it? Share with me. What can I do? You know me. Give me a few tips. So when you see success in your company, embrace them, champion them, envision yourself having that success, and create such success stories in your team. If you can't have joy for others, you'll not be able to have the success they have. Success cannot be mixed with what we call negative emotions. You cannot hate, the top earners and expect to be a top earner. You cannot hate the car achievers and expect to be a car achiever. Impossible. You cannot hate the millionaires and expect to become a millionaire yourself. It is impossible. All right. So as we let our own light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. That simply means if you have some good results, share it with others so that they can believe in themselves and go outside there and do the same. Then always get pissed off, guys. If you're not doing well, you should not be comfortable. Unajua vizuri umekaa sana kwa hii biashara. You've been around for one good year. Nothing is happening. Sometimes we tend to understand, those who have stayed long, but they are not doing much. But you as a person, yes, the others will understand you, lakini we mwenyewe hufai kujielewa sana. You need to get pissed off. You need to read. You need to find people, mentors. Sit with them, ask them, what should I do? Can you track my progress? Can you hold me accountable? You need to get pissed off. You stayed for 3 months, no sign up. An entire 3 months. How? You need to get pissed off. You've done a lot of trainings, no one is signing up. You need to get pissed off and find out, where is the problem. Then stop procrastinating. It is the biggest dream killer. I want us to screenshot this. It's not about having resources, but being resourceful. Never put off until tomorrow what you should have done today. Make sure you do what you're supposed to do in time. Then always use affirmations to, make yourself positive and have things moving in the right direction. Don't be that person that everything you talk about is negative. Don't sow the seeds of belief and doubt in yourself. They say thoughts are things. Whatever you talk about, whatever you think, you attract them. So always think positively, think possibilities, and things are going to move on the right direction. So use affirmations. Ukiamka asubuhi, be happy and grateful for certain things happening in your life. Be happy and grateful for certain things happening in your. I don't think you can be happy and grateful that you are not getting signups. You cannot be happy and grateful that you are not making money. It is impossible. So it is imperative that when you start having positive self-talk, positive things are going to happen. I'm happy and grateful that I have signed up 4 people this month. I'm happy and grateful that I make 200,000 Kenya shillings monthly. I'm happy and grateful that everyone I talk to says yes to the business. So use positive affirmations to, align yourself. Then avoid the shiny object syndrome, that is bouncing from one thing to another. Stick to what is, right, what you know is right. Leo unajaribu hii, kesho ile. No, stick to one thing that you know is right and do it. Again, stick to the business. You can't do alliance and you are doing another small program there, another one. Stick to one thing. Stick to one thing. You can lead a horse to water, but you can never force it to drink. Again, you need to know how to motivate your team to do certain things. You can recruit your team, but you cannot force them to work. That is the bad part of this. You can recruit 100 people, 300 people, but you cannot force them to work. So how do you get these people to work? Number one, show them that they are thirsty. Show them that they are thirsty. What do I mean by that? Show them that they need something, Show them that they need to live that good life. Show them that they need to drive a better car. Show them that they can live in a better estate. Expose them, expose them to the big things. That is showing your downline that they are thirsty. Then number two, you can feed them dry grass. Feeding them dry grass is creating, no. I've actually interchanged them. Feeding them dry grass is showing them the good life that they can live, the good things they can have. Then, of course, showing them other donkeys that are drinking or other horses that are drinking is showing them other people that have been successful in the business. For example, your downline might not want to recover their money in 1 month, but the moment you keep on showing them, this is so and so, they recovered their money in 1 month. This is so and so, recovered their money in 1 month. This one 3 weeks, this one 2 weeks, this one 1 week. Already you've changed their mindset. They'll also want to recover their money in 1 week, 3 weeks, or even 1 month. So show them guys who are doing well. Then number two, help them to create the desire or the dreams so that they can get there. So lastly, as I end my training, these are the builders actions that you need to take care of every single time you're doing your business. Have a journal as a leader in the business. Have a book where you write ideas, good things that have happened to you. Because one day, trust me, guys, you'll be writing books. One day, you'll be called to train on GoPro. What will you be training? Whatever is in your journal. These ideas that no one else has ever had. So have pictures as well. Have videos of you. Document yourself. Behave like you are a movie person. You are a celebrity. If you go to an event, take videos, take pictures, and go and post them somewhere. A YouTube channel is a good place to start from for the videos. Instagram is another good place to post the reels and all this, so that one day when you succeed, you can come back and show people, this was me back then. Then be like an ant. Ants don't give up. They'll always find a way to get where they want to be. In fact, huko ushago, especially ndio ants ziko hapa Nairobi sijaziona sana. Usually when the ants came, they always create a path, zinafuatananga. When they come and meet the house, they'll actually climb the entire house. Na create njia ndani ya nyumba, zipite hadi zitoke ile side ingine. They don't give up. All right? Then don't rely on your sixth sense. Don't rely on your extrasensory perception to do the business, rely on the system, rely on what is already working, okay? Rely on whatever your uplines have already used before is working so well. Don't rely on your sixth sense, don't keep on reinventing the wheel all the time. Then positivity should be taken down. If you have anything negative, take it to your upline only. Don't tell it to your downline. Manage your contacts well, avoid end month crunch, that is rushing at the end of the month. Use the scholarship method, train your downlines properly, step by step, like we recommend in the SMO checklist, that is the scholarship method. Then join networking groups. Join groups within our business where people, they exchange ideas and all this, physically or even online. Then seek support from your spouse and family to do the business. Ask them to believe in you, give you a chance if they are negative. Waambie, give me just 6 months. If things don't work out, then you can discourage me. Na hizo 6 months chapa hii biashara. That is if they are negative. So focus on the starfish, focus on the next person that you can help to become a great leader. So guys, that was my training. That brings me to the end. And I hope you guys learned 1 or 2 things from whatever I've shared. If you've learned, I want you to go to the chat box and share with us whatever you've learned. If you've learned, I want us to go to the chat box and share with us whatever you've learned as I make one announcement before we call it a day. If you've learned, go to the chat box. If you've learned, go to the chat box. Okay, if you've learned, go to the chat box and share with us whatever you've learned. So I can see a lot of fire flowing there. Can see a lot of fire flowing there. I can see a lot of people have learned something. So lastly, as I end, I want to just give a few announcements before we